And here we go, we'll continue with Pilot. And this time is the famous Pilot Metropolitan. I heard a lot of things about it in contrast on the web, on YouTube, and I think that everybody has a point. Some people think that this pen is too much fast. I mean, that they consider it to be a lot more than it actually is, and some people praise it with with all their heart. But my opinion is good about it. It's not a bad pen, it's a good pen, of course. But I think that the actual reason that everybody praises this pen is something that Pilot has in general, and this is the excellent quality control, especially at this category that, in my opinion, the European companies are one step behind, because I bought multiple entry-level pens from all brands, and I think that the Japanese in general, and mostly Pilot, but not only Pilot, I think that also Sailor does a great job, Platinum does a great job, but in comparison with their European counterparts, they're one step ahead. I mean, you barely can find 1 out of 10 pens you buy from Japan to have any slight issue, and I'm talking about slight, for example, to be a little bit scratchy. Perhaps a fine Japanese nib could be a little bit slightly scratchy, and that's the worst thing I ever found on a Japanese pen. While in European pens, I found a baby's bottom, I found feeds that malfunctioned because of some kind of oil from the factory and needed to be washed. I found feeds that malfunctioned because of some misformation, some disformation, and I had to carve a small line with a razor blade to make the pen work. At first I thought it was baby's bottom, but it wasn't, and I figured out later. I'll show you at which pen I found that. I mean no harm to the company, to the manufacturer of this pen. It's not the only pen that I came across it, but now we're talking about the Pilot, and I got carried away. Sorry. So let's start from medium. It's on this green color, very popular color, I think. And because this one, it's not like the other two. It has, it's a European. I bought it in Europe. It's a European cartridge, converter system. I found an open one because I hate waste. I don't like wasting things, and I'll use the one that was opened. I think it's some kind of purple, but it'll do just fine. So the Metropolitan will post nice and securely. I hate posting pens, especially metal ones, if it's not needed, because the pen turns back weighted and heavier, and I don't like that. So Pilot Metropolitan. Pilot Metropolitan. and this is the medium. This is very smooth. This is the medium, and it's some kind of green. Which for some reason I'm always trying to start with a capital when I'm writing a G. It makes no sense. I don't know why. And this is some kind of green, and very smooth, quite wet. Now we start to see the ink from the cartridge, because I can see it's getting purplier. Yeah. Sorry about that. My hand is getting sticky on the desk, on the glass, again. Yeah, very smooth. Very smooth, very nice nib. I like the texture. Maybe this step could be a little bit, you can't feel it. It doesn't bother, but I don't like the aesthetics of it. And generally, I like round grips. I don't like the Lamy Safari thing. It's not my thing. Let's go to the next one. That is this one, the Metropolitan again. But here we have, unfortunately, I don't have the fine nib for the Metropolitan. I had it, but I damaged it because I like to tinker as well. So I threw it away. I had it here, and what I did here is that I just got a Plumix, and it has the broad stub here, and we'll check that out after we check the medium stub. I think that it's a very cool thing that the Metropolitan comes with a stub, because it's nice to have the option for a stub, just to get to know the stub, and especially when it's so well made, because as I said, I think that Pilot has great quality control. They polish their nibs really well, and this may not be so crispy, but it's very forgiving. So Pilot, and now the tripod. Oh my god. Pilot, Metropolitan, and this is the stub, and I think that's 1.1. That says CM here. I think that's 1.1, but I'm not really sure. If it's not, correct me please. And this is some kind of gold color, or brownish gold, I don't know. And here we'll check out, yeah, there's a significant difference on that stroke and this one. That's a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun. And with this one, yeah, it's really smooth as well. It's really smooth. I'll just have to move the camera because it's just in the middle of everything. And maybe just turn it a little bit. Sorry that, but there is no other way to do it. Let's check out this tab E. Hippolyte. Monoien. And here we need yeah. a lemon and Unito Polis. That's ancient Greek. Means if the citizens are of the same mind, happy would be the city. Means that the city would work well if all the citizens think the same. And it's part of an exercise I was doing last week, of a syntax exercise about hypothetical speech. So we start with if. Anyways, that's not important. I just wanted to see the character of the stab, even if my handwriting sucks right now. Okay, I think that the stab is really worth it, generally. And I found that out with this stab. That was my first stab, and I think that I prefer this one than the broader one from the Plumix. Yep, Pilot Metropolitan, and you can see here it's again smooth Metropolitan, but you can see the difference from the it's broader, it's broader, and we'll check on the axis, the difference of the lines. Pilot Metropolitan, and this is a stab, and if it says broad, I guess this would be 1.5. I'm not sure, I'm just guessing, so maybe it is, maybe it isn't. So Pilot Metropolitan stab, and this is black, obviously. And just write one like that and there. Yep, it's 1.1 is here. I think it's a bit thicker, yes. Yes, it's thicker. It's quite thicker. Nice pen as well. And that was the Pilot Metropolitan. I think that it's a solid option to start with. It's not my favorite. You'll see later which my favorite one is, but it's a solid option, and that I think personally that there's something better. It doesn't mean that it is actually better objectively. Every kind of instrument has a relationship between the actual object and the subject that is using the object. So everything can change for every different subject, for every different person. For some people, this is the best entry-level fountain pen. For someone else, it might suck. For someone else, it might be good, but there's still a better option. So that was the Pilot Metropolitan. Thank you for watching. See you on the next one.